Hello everyone, I am Tumbarit Papadil and today I will demonstrate the about burp-suite tool, which is the standard tool used for web application penetration testing. It is industry standard and almost everyone uses this tool. Overview of this tool: it is the most commonly used interception proxy for pen testing, whether that pen testing can be web API, etc. And also its capabilities can be enhanced by VIEHs, which we can say as extensions in browsers, like we call them extensions, and in web it's called as VIEHs. It also includes multiple tools. There are various tools like intruder, repeater, decoder, etc. And it's developed by Sugar Limited. It has two editions: community uh, and professional. Community is free one, and professional cost 200 to 300 of. It's integrated tools. Some of these integrated tools are Spider. It is a crawler that is used to map the target web application. Proxy. It lets the user see and modify the contents of request and response while they are in transit. Scanner, a security scanner, and it's only available with the Pro version. Intruder. It's used to automate the web request. We can call do we use it for fuzzing. And repeater. Repeater is a tab where we can modify manually and they reissue all the web requests. Other tools are sequencer, decoder, and comparer. Sequencer for checking the randomness and predictability of tokens, cookies, etc. Decoder to encode and decode the data. It has various formats like encoding formats like HTML encoding, URL encoding, base62 encoding, etc. Comparer. It is used to compare changes between two web pages. We can compare two web pages. So to use Burp, we first need to uh, configure our browser. So proxy configuration is like we can use any host and port whichever we want. Uh, so let's see. So first go to the proxy tab. Then here on options tab, we can add. So here add the which we want to add address. We can add, and here we can address. We can add here, enter the port and also the localhost address which we want to add. Here I am using localhost and port 8080. So configure same thing with Firefox browser. So go to the settings, proxy settings, and here enable manual proxy configuration and enter the localhost address and port 8080. This is the one way of using proxy. And another one is the using Foxy proxy tool. It is an extension. We can download it using it is Firefox add-on. We can download it on store. So just go to the here Foxy proxy extension after installing, and here add the extension. So we can add to the title, type here, enter the address and port. I have already did it, so I won't add it. So after doing this, just click here and enable. Choose this burp. So now burp will interceptor. Uh, Now burp will intercept the traffic. Here in our intercept is on. So we'll visit any website. Some problem on There was some mistaken code. Now it's all fine. Now the request will be this tab will be highlighted, and here we can see the request. We can change this many settings. So we will go to user options and or project option. There are many options we can choose setup according to our needs. So here we have captured the request. Now we can forward it, drop it, or do some actions like sending it to different types, repeater, into the sequencer, etc. So I will forward it. So we will test this tool on PHP MyAdmin website. It is the word-enabled website. We can use it for demonstration purpose. So here is the website, testphp.volano.com. It's a word-enabled website where we will check all the vulnerabilities. So we already check how to intercept the request and then decide what to do with it. We can forward it, drop it, and also do many actions like sending it to one different apps like repeater and etc. Burp-suite, it's used to map the target. We can retrieve with hidden resources with it. We can use it to gather more endpoints. More endpoints mean more attack surface. So first, intercept one, then send this request to spider. So here's spider. So after sending this request to spider, we will see it on the, we will say in the under the target tab, and here we can filter and only show in scope items. So when spider it, we need to map the whole website, and we can get many interesting information with it. So it is the function of the spider. Uh, Next is repeater. It is the most used tab in the burp tool. We send the request and then we manipulate the request, and then we can check the response by sending the request. So for example, so I search here and send test. Now I can send this request to the repeater. This is the tab where we can click on go and the request will send, and we can check the response simultaneously. Response is here. You can check the response, and we can check raw headers. So it will show all the headers and render. It will also render. Now here we can change however we want. For sending the request to the repeater, we can click on to the request will send, and we can check the response. Here we can manipulate the request as well. So here we will enter some malicious character, and we'll check if it gets reflected or not. Now I will enter the CSS payload. Then I'll take this request and check if it gets executed. First, I will insert an HTML frame, simple underline tag, and when you click on render, you can see it's executed and the text is underlined. Now I will insert an XSS payload. browser, it's executed. And here we see the problem. The XSS got executed successfully. Now, like this, we can manipulate as we want the request. We can manipulate anything. We can manipulate the methods. We can change the request method from get to post. So we can then edit the headers, add the headers, and change the payloads. And we can see the response. Uh, now, now I will send this request to the intruder. The intruder tabs is used for fuzzing. So here we have to select the position. So the position is this. So our payload will be added here after a, and then we can select the payloads. Burp also comes from the default payloads, like we have the for fuzzing, username, password, directory file names. We can also fuzz various vulnerabilities, the SSH, SQL. So I will select SSX. So all the payloads are here, and then we can start fuzzing. Here we can choose the number of threads, that how many requests to be sent on that. And then we can start that. So we can filter this payload according to the status error. So now this many payload got executed, it's vulnerable. So all the payloads will execute, and we will get the pop-up. So this is the work of intruder. You can also do. There are many different types of attacks in the intruder attack: sniper, veteran, pitchfork. Sniper, it's a one payload at a one time. Cluster, pitchfork, and cluster bomb are used to insert the two payloads. So here we can see the payloads, and we can say the payload set. Here I add another payload here. Then we can change the cluster bomb. Then we will get the two pairs, and then we can select, and it will try all the combinations. So this is the work of our intruder. Then we have decoder. So here we can decode the cookies and etc., which are encoded in these different formats like URL, HTML, base64, etc. Here also smart decode function, you can use it. Decoder is an extender. This is the add-on tab for the burp. Here we can add many extensions to enhance the capability of burp. There are many. So we can sort it according to popularity or ratings. Then different add-ons we can use. JSON Web2Con, this add-on helps in checking the JWT tokens. Here we can decode and we can manipulate the JWT token. Now we'll check this website for SQL injection. So here you can see the URL. It fetches the cat from one, so it must be from database. So I will intercept the request and send it to the intruder. Sorry, repeater. So here we can insert the single quote character to check if it's vulnerable to SQL injection or not. So we can break the query. We have an error, SQL error, so it confirms that it is vulnerable to the SQL injection. Then we can execute, insert different payloads. So I will send it to the intruder. Position tabs. Then I will choose this. choose SQL errors from the list. Now we can see all the filters are getting executed. And you can also check the response. What's the response? And to automate after confirming the SQL injection to get all the database and other information, we can use an automated tool SQL map, which helps us in doing many things. After it, for exploiting this SQL injection, can query the database and get all the username, password tables, and then we can report it to the website. So started, it will crawl all the website we can check. Then we can also define the scope. Here we can add our scope, the website which we want to add. Like here I will add this website. So there are different actions on the Intercept tab. Like I click on it. Now I can click on action and then choose to virus action. So we can also intercept the response to this request. So if I forward, then I will see its response type. Here we can check the history to play with the request. Compare this tab is used to compare the day request to request. We can compare two different requests and check what changes and manipulate accordingly. Answer is used to check the randomness of the cookies. Thank you. That's all.